this book because it reaches out and invites us to open our minds and hearts to each other to mutually solve and understand problems that we share across the globe. In addition to this refreshing take on our global community, within the documentary genre, this book is really cutting edge in that it was created entirely through a virtual community. Not only did the photographers and editors communicate solely in cyberspace, but the book was designed and printed through the magic of the internet through Blur, one of our favorite groups of people in the Bay Area. This anthology was masterminded by John Horniblow, an Australian who lives in Switzerland, sort of an example of the modern global citizen. He is the editor and founder of Photojournale, and am I saying that correctly, by the way?
Yeah, no, Photojournale is how, yeah, that's how I believe it to be.
Okay,
I've heard it called Photojournale, but the journal actually comes from it's a play on French.
Yeah, let's be French. Photojournale. And it's an online community of photojournalists who create documentary photography from around the world. This book was created by a group that John invited within the community to be editors. Lisa Hogben, Mike Fox, who's here today, and Erica McDonald and Sanatu Chakrabarti. But in addition to being the founder and editor of Photojournale, John is also, well, he's really a kind of a jack-of-all media trades kind of guy, is my understanding. I was reading his LinkedIn biography this afternoon, and it's pretty comprehensive. Basically, though, he was trained as a cinematographer, and then was quickly snagged to become a documentary film producer and director, and has ventured into many different areas, including working on the infamous Spike Radio a number of years ago, which was Pandora before its time, and had the pleasure of working with the iTunes folk and where they originally developed the Apple model for selling music on the radio or on the internet, right?
Yeah.
Very cool. Anyway, the book. Back to the book. The foreword is by Amy Vitale, which is another one of Fotovision's favorite photographers. She has taught for us and has also donated a really beautiful print for our print collectors program of one event in the many during her 10 years working in Kashmir. The narrative of Connections Across a Human Planet follows the concept of cradle to grave. Childhood, education, school, adolescence, work, home, ritual, religion, celebration, sport, art, conflict, aging, all the big landmarks that we all celebrate as humans, including sickness, death, mourning, and remembrance. It's an emotional and human journey of images drawn through documentary stories, capturing moments and situations in every continent. It illustrates the common truths that connect the human experience and is represented by photographers from around the world. The book is drawn, I think in the past, I wrote recently, I have a newsletter that I write, and I was thinking about this book, and the landmark show that came to mind was The Family of Man, and in that it was sort of had the same intent and inspiration, which was to connect people around the globe in their common humanity and experience. But at that time, the nature of photojournalism was such that the Americans and Europeans were dominant, and they would go from these Western countries out into the other part of the world and bring back things. And this book is very different because, well, I guess for two reasons. A lot of the photographers are native, or they're, as John is, sort of global citizens, people who perhaps are from one country but who are based in another, and really that is their home. So it's a modern iteration of the kind of family of man concept, which I think is really beautiful. And here tonight with John are Mike Fox, an editor of this book, and also a longtime Fotovision supporter, absolutely. He left a marketing career many years ago to become a photojournalist and had assignments everywhere. I know he did a number of personal projects, including one on the Ku Klux Klan, And then he ditched that to become a documentary filmmaker. And he'll have to catch us up on what he's been doing lately.
Do that.
Also here tonight, but not up at front, is Luca Prasso.
Luca Prasso, yes.
Yeah, he's part of the Photojournale gang, and another Fotovision person. It's great. I guess we know all the right people, apparently. So when he's not hanging out with his young son, Luca and his wife Nadia, who are partners in crime, they travel the world looking for new stories to open our eyes and hearts to the human experience around the globe. And they have a business where they offer their rather broad and deep skills in multimedia to NGOs. And they are part of this project as well.